as last year's winner, looking very cool, calm and collected here, just checking her watch. Ruth Chepngetich of Kenya, last year's winner. What a magnificent feather in her cap it was to get that victory last year. She holds a marathon personal best of 2:17.08, and that makes her the 4th fastest woman ever in history of marathon running. 2:22.31 was the winning time last year. From 2012, she's won 4 marathons, 28 years of age now. A good age still, Ruben, and I think there's still a little bit more to come from this lady.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, last year at the Olympics, she pulled out with some problems after the 30K mark, and then came out and won the Chicago Marathon last year. And then this year with the World Championship, she had problems with her stomach, and after 18K in that race, she pulled out. And hopefully she's been talking up the big talk, talking up the big thing, that she's in great form, and she's about to be the 2nd person in a long time to win double back-to-back races at Chicago.
Quick glimpse there at Emily Sisson of USA, wearing vest number 107. There's Ruti Agnew as well. Certainly not going to discount her as well from a victory here today. She'll be there or thereabouts, I'm sure, as well. Helio as well of Ethiopia, a personal best of 2:20.19 in Amsterdam last year. So she's on the crest of a wave coming in here into Chicago this week. Another Ethiopian as well, Dese as well. Certainly expect her to have a seat at the table come the end of this one. On the men's side as well, the field is even more stellar. This man won it last year as well. Sefutura of Ethiopia, still 25 years of age, and he went on to better things as well. Last year, 2021, is when he really made his name for himself, when he set that personal best in Milan, 2:04.29. Americans seem to be wrapped up here this morning, Ruben. What's going on?
Yeah, they tend to like to stay warm, as a lot of these runners do, just before the race. But there we have Muntz, who's after a debut American record today for the fastest first-time marathon runner. We have Kesa there as well, who's also in the mix. He is someone to definitely watch as the race goes on. And, of course, Nagasa as well, also from Ethiopia.
There is Tamru with the hat on for the occasion as well. Again, could be one of 12 elite runners on the men's side that could all get to that ribbon in first place here today. We'll see how it unravels as well. But the script has been written with regards to the elite list on the men and the women's side. And the show commences, as they say.
Yes, I mean, you were saying how wonderful this field is on the men's side. We have 12 men that are capable of PBs under the time of 2 hours and 8 minutes. So it is going to be a fast and furious race, and the eyes on the target, which we've been told is under the course record set by Kimito way back in 2013. So let's see what we can do here. There should be a fast, furious pace, and even though many of about 59 minutes and 51 seconds for the first half of the race, and looked very comfortable going through that time in the half marathon in Berlin, and then came on and still ran 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds, as you say. An amazing performance, and I think we are destined to see him run faster later on, maybe next year.
Well, I certainly hope so. Back to the wheelchair race here. 7.5 minutes into this race, and here the end of this one. So the male and the females, elite runners there, all bunched up very nicely, checking their watches, just getting themselves limbered up here for the start of what is the main event here in Chicago. Mouth-watering it is, to say the least. So in approximately 2.5 hours from now, we'll know who our men's winner and who our women's winner will be. So buckle up, enjoy the ride, should be a good one. Myself, as well as Ruben, will guide you through proceedings here, again, as mentioned, for the next 2.5 hours or so. So, as per usual, in any marathon event, it is usually a battle between Ethiopia and Kenya. So it'll prove to be here, I'm sure, in this one as well. The names just roll off the list, don't they? Walde, Rotic, Koech, Tura, Negasa, Kiptanu, Dong, Tamaru, Hosea of Japan, Degu of Ethiopia, Kissa of Uganda, and Kiptu of Kenya as well. All the main protagonists here for this event. Now, usually when we see this kind of event, Ruben, when there's such a stellar field, we usually see them bunch up at the midway point, 8, 10, perhaps even 12.
Yeah.
Do you see any of these guys here making that break early, trying to force the hand of the chasing bunch, so to speak?
No, I don't think so. I think we have such a group of 12 men, possibly more if you count a few of the other debutants today. I think most of the men, as we see in last year, they'll stay together roughly around 30k, maybe even longer. And then someone might throw in a little bit of a burner towards the later end of the race. It'll be interesting to see, but I don't think we'll see anything until later on in the race, unfortunately.
Well, let's see, because certainly there's a lot of money on the table as well. Just have to mention that as well. The open division on the men and women's, a first place win today gets you $75,000 US, 55,000, 45 for second as well as third place finish. With regard to the wheelchair event, 25,000 down to 18 and 12,000 as well. So certainly a lot riding on this as well. Pride honour, good set of purse money as well. So you ran this race back in the day, Ruben. Do you still have the butterflies in your stomach when you see the fun runners, so to speak?
Oh yes,
lining up here.
Yes, I remember watching, as you said, it was dark when you first start lining up.
Boston won 18-11. So stateside is where we usually see the very best out of him, and the first glimpse here of the leaders on the men's side. Of course, we have Benson, Kiprutu of Kenya, who has gained their reputation as a runner who knows how to surge. See him as well there in the chasing pack as well. So a couple of pacemakers early doors there, not quite the same amount as pacemakers as Kipchoge had when he set the unofficial time under 2x on her CV. 2022, she's been so busy and she's won so many races actually, the Grand Mars Marathon, the Danielle Ulitza Memorial Race as well. Well, there's Yima as well in the pack of the men's elite runners. Ethiopian, of course, 25 years of age. 8th in the Boston Marathon this year and 3rd in the same marathon last year. So he'll be there or thereabouts. We'll see whether he can last the course here as well today. As per usual, when it's myself and Ruben in the booth for the marathons, we like to have a little bit of a bet as to who's going to get this race. Not quite there yet at the midway point. I'll throw the question the way of Ruben as to who his money's on to go ahead and get this race. He has the win-loss ratio of approximately 30%, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see whether he can improve on that today. But again, we'll keep that in the bank for now. Early doors in this race. I'll keep you apprised as to when. I will ask that question to my wingman here for the event. So everything looking fine and dandy so far early doors in this race. Really has achieved elite status this marathon by developing relationships with sponsors who provide prize money to lure elite runners, and I think every year the elite list just gets better and better.
Yes, I mean, look at the pacemakers here. They're sitting a course record pace. So of course it's early on. They may be pushing a little bit too hard. We'll see. But we're back to the lead of the men's now, I believe.
Marcel Hug of Switzerland led the last time that we saw, and he still is very much in the lead as well here. Wealth of experience, 36 years of age now. Personal best 1:17:47. So whether he can better that, if he does, one of the fastest times we've ever seen here in Chicago. So crowds are just beginning to come out in full force now, just to get behind the runners. Really is a fan-friendly course, Chicago. For the bridges as well. 5 world records set with the Chicago Marathon since the inaugural event.
We see the Americans sitting at the back there. Mance, his debut we've been told that he's going to go out in 2 hours, 63 minutes through the halfway mark. And at this stage, he's definitely at least running that pace if you consider how close he is to the pacemakers, should I say, after 8 minutes in this race.
When we talk about American marathon runners, Galen Rupp, not on the start list here today. Shame that has not happened, because, you know, when you have a look at the top American performances in Chicago, that man's name just crops up 3 times in the top 10.
I mean, Galen Rupp is an amazing runner, and I think you and I both called it one year when he was running against his former training partner, Mo Farah. It was a great race back then, and it's a shame he's not racing this time. I think he's taking a bit of a break, trying to heal some injuries, some small injuries, and hopefully he'll be back next year to run like a champion again.
Certainly hope so. On the ladies' side as well, the All-American marathon runner, Sarah Hall as well. Shame that she's not here as well to grace us with her presence, but plenty of decent marathon runners flying the flag for USA, the men's and the women's side as well. So Yimmer as well, just very neatly tucked in behind the pacemakers here. 10 minutes in to this race. We have a look at his personal best set in Boston this year, 2:08.58. He's in good form, he's got confidence behind him. And again, he's one that perhaps we'll be talking about an hour or so from now.
I think we're already seeing a few more crowd spectators joining the race. If we look, we're getting more and more people. The noise of the crowd is now getting higher, and that's what's so amazing about this race. I remember running it. There was never one point in the race where I didn't feel like there was some spectator on the course yelling out, screaming with their amazing signs that they have. So tribute to why I think Chicago, Boston, New York marathons are such a great race. It's not just the field, it's not just the organization, but also the fact that you have so many crazy Americans and spectators cheering you on.
So back to the action in the men's wheelchair race. Hoog still very much in the lead here. Of course, this man as well.
Maybe you can tell me, Errol, is he still the world record holder for the marathon of 1 hour 17 and 47 seconds, or has someone broken that record?
I believe it still belongs to him. We'll get that updated, but I think, from what I can see, it is still his for now.
Because I think Oita, if you think about that course, I've just gone and checked it, it's not as flat as the Chicago Marathon. So looking at how far he is in front of the rest of the field, we might be looking to be treated to a world marathon attempt in the wheelchair race today as well.
Well, that record was held for 22 years, in fact, when Hood decided to take over the baton and break that world record. We'll see. So you believe he's on course for that kind of time? 1:17.47 from last year.
It looks like it if you look through the first 5K that he's on a world record pace at the moment.
Okay, well, he gets better, doesn't he? He's won that marathon 5 times where he set the world record last year. Gold in the Olympics on plenty times, Rio 2016, Tokyo 2020. 2 minutes shaved off that world record. That is incredible, actually. And as you said, Ruben, you've touched upon it, he's gone off at blistering pace here, so he knows how to pace himself here. Now, just give us an appraisal of the difference between that course and this course.
I think Oita is pretty flat, but there are a few more tricks and turns, and I think that may actually slow him down compared to here. There are a couple of hills in Oita compared to Chicago Marathon, and I think the crowd, the spectators, are going to help him through the later stages of this race as well.
But just a little bit of a tranquility for a moment. You mentioned it just a few minutes ago that there's just a cacophony of noise here throughout the start to the finish of the Chicago Marathon. Never a part of the course without any spectators. Just thinned out slightly here. Okay, we mentioned before in the introduction that they head north from Grant Park on this loop. Generally, the 3 sections, northwest and south, you get one main stadium near the course's turning point, of course. Wrigley Field to the north, the United Centre to the west, and the Guaranteed Rate Field to the south. There is a 4th professional stadium, the Soldiers Field, just near the start and finish area. Not quite as picturesque as some of the marathons that you do see in Europe, but that being said, the caveat is the support you get from the crowd, and once again we're seeing them come out in good numbers here again. So, only 10 minutes in, Ruben, so far. How are they doing with regard to the pace? The record here. So, first look at the ladies' side here. And last year's winner, let's look at her already setting down the marker to the rest of the field. She wants that win double. Where is the rest of the field?
Wow, she is looking, you can tell just by her running style, the look on the pacemaker's face that she is actually running very fast from the beginning of the race. It's going to be interesting. I mean, she is capable of I think, 2:16, 2:17 marathon on a good day. So it'll be interesting to see what she can do.
So 2 top 10 finishes for...
Just to get back to our fast-paced woman at the front, for her to go under 2 hours and 14 minutes, that's 3:11 per K pace, and our lady has just run the first 5K at around 3:02 per K pace. So at this stage, this early in the race, she's well under the pace of running 2 hours and 14 minutes for the marathon.
First glimpse of the morning here at Coax, just behind one of our pacemakers. Good to see him here as well. Kenyan, of course, 34 years of age now. Yet to win a marathon. Been the 2nd place finisher on a couple of occasions in his career, the last of which was Valencia last year. Dega as well, just on the fringes of the pack there. Right-hand side, as we can see as well, looking very relaxed as well. Aren't they all, to be fair? Just 20 minutes in. So, a couple of pacemakers as well. We'll see whether they dip out early and leave it to the pack to try and keep this kind of pace going. So, once again, it is another marathon that is a major. Tokyo Marathon, of course, in March, Boston in April, Berlin, where we saw the new world record last week set by Kipchoge, London as well last week, 2 weeks ago in fact, Berlin, Chicago, and of course the last one is New York on the 6th of November. So still plenty to look forward to before the end of the calendar year. Right here, right now, we're enjoying another excellent Chicago Marathon.
Marcel Hug has done his first 10K already in just over 21 minutes. That's a pace of 2 minutes and 6 seconds per K. If for those of you in miles, that's 3:23, 3 minutes and 23 seconds per mile. So he is definitely on the world record pace at this stage in the race after 10K done.
Didn't get a glimpse there at Kerry Pinkowski, the executive race director. I'm sure we will at the end of the race as well. 32 years now he's been associated with the Chicago Marathon. It's a real driving force behind the scenes. His leadership, as well as the collaboration with the Bank of America, is the big reason that this is such a good race. 2006, of course, when Pinkowski utilised his experience as the executive race director to help drive this one up the calendar, get it to the status that it is as well. Of course, it's not the only marathon he's worked with as well. Boston, New York, throws his weight behind the scenes also at the Tokyo Marathon. So we'll see him at the end, no doubt. But who's going to go ahead and grab that first place victory? That is the million-dollar question. Chasing pack behind the pacemakers. He counts around 10 or 12 runners as expected here.
All the top names are in there. We've got Kamito, we've got Tura, all of the top runners that Errol and I have already spoken about today. We'll talk about each of these a little bit more in detail as we go out through the race. Just early days, we're at probably around the 8K mark right now. We're coming up to 10K very, very shortly. I mean, we can give you an update with the pace that they're running.
Again, just to go back to the weather conditions, nice and clear. See that blue sky, hardly a cloud in the sky. It's cool. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. I'm sure some of these runners as well. So here's our lead lady. The lead lady it was last year for at least 80% of this race. Is she going to repeat that as well? Because there's not a challenger anywhere near her at the moment.
Bridget Kosgei also started off when she broke the world record in Chicago in 2019. Had a blistering pace, but maybe a bit more even. At this stage, we have Kipnitic running a lot faster than Bridget Kosgei did in 2019. So let's hope we can keep this pace up. It'd be an amazing feat to end off an amazing year by on the women's side, where we've had elaborate game of can you top this between Bridget Kosgei, who ran a course record in 2 hours and 16 minutes and 2 seconds in Tokyo, and then Ruth also running a course record of 2 hours 17 minutes and 18 seconds in Nagoya a week later. And then of course, who could forget Tigist Assefa to win Berlin only a few weeks ago.
When you have a look at the top 5 fastest marathon times this year set by the women, she's third, 2:17.18, just outside her personal best. So she's in good shape. That was in Japan this year in April. So since making her marathon debut in 2017, she has finished in the top 3 in every marathon that she's completed. Got the confidence, certainly got the energy. And right now, at the moment, she's well and truly in first place.
And she's one of these ladies that tends to run really, really well in the marathon major events, the big marathon events throughout the year. But when it comes to the World Championships and Olympic Games, it's there that she has problems with keeping both her stomach under control, but then also finishing those races the last 2 times.
A slightly more green now is the scenery for the marathon runners. You can hear the steps of the runners by the supporter. We cheered them on, just a couple, but really like what I'm seeing with regard to all our elite runners being there or thereabouts. It just makes it a little bit more interesting come the business end of this race, so to speak.
Which is there, we've got Emo's there, 2 rows there, we've got Tamaru is there. I mean, all these guys are capable of running around 2 hours and 5 minutes or faster.
Really was an excellent race last year, if you saw it. Of course, Tura of Ethiopia really controlled the race. The strategy that he had to get that victory was beautiful, to say the least. Just waited until the 38K mark to just turn on the afterburners, hit the gas and win the biggest race of his career so far. So he's got that target on his back now after winning that race. Winning is one, staying there, that's another thing, and that's going to be the big challenge for him today, the Ethiopian. You see whether there's going to be a bit of a skullduggery going on here, some tactics between the Ethiopians and the Kenyans. There so often is, but his tactics saw him bear the fruits of his labour with that victory this time last year. Of course, 6th in the World Athletics Marathon event this year. Very respectable 6th place finish. It's amazing what a win can do for your confidence. Set himself a personal best this year as well. At 25 years of age, he's another one with a lot of mileage still left on the clock to go ahead and get himself a better personal best. Could be today, who knows?
I love the new racing outfits that we're seeing here, very bright. You can definitely see these runners as they turn around the streets, corners. We have the amazing shoes that are been claimed to fame for many of the greatest performances, but you still have to be able to have the physiology to compete and run well. So despite what many people may say, I think that these shoes are only part of the reason why these athletes have run as fast. And like you just said, Errol, sometimes psychology plays a big game, especially when you get to the later stages of the race.
And DJ just looking to turn the decibel level up a notch or two with the music. Yeah, there's been no change really. Yima on the left, Tura Koech as well, just moved himself to the front behind the first pacemaker. Down to one pacemaker, the first has already gone out. I'm surprised at that. Just before the half an hour mark, we're only down to 2 pacemakers, 3 and 4 on their vests. Ah, there he is, there's the other one.
Yeah, he's out on the right-hand side of the screen there. So if we see there on the left-hand side of the screen, Ema from Ethiopia, he's got 2 top 10 finishes in the Abbott Marathon Majors, Boston and Boston. So his best claim to fame was in 2021 when he came 3rd in Boston. And he's the Ethiopian national record holder in the half marathon, with the 12th fastest half marathoner in history, with 58 minutes and 33 seconds. Just think how fast that is, Errol.
Oh, incredible. It's something that I think you appreciate even more when you see these guys in the flesh, how committed they are from the start to the finish, and how they manage to keep those split times, miles or kilometers, whatever you want to work in, very high. Finely tuned are these men and ladies, right on cue. Nothing more finely tuned than this athlete here on the ladies' side as well. She was the clear favourite to win this race. Well, we can see why.
You can still tell by their running style, especially, I mean, Kipnitic is very relaxed. She's got that rolling style with keeping her arms close to her body. But what is interesting is the pacemaker seems to be pushing very hard to be able to keep that pace.
Well, she's 45 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. So already, she's thrown the gauntlet down to those ladies. Catch me if you can. On the American side as well, of course, Maggie Montoya, Harry Verdon, Sarah Vaughan, Laura Thrott, Susanna Sullivan as well, Emily Sisson as well. Nowhere to be seen in this lady, as you can see. Head of Aga, Kiplagat, Makasha and Desi, 45 seconds. We'll see whether she can extend that lead at the 10K split, at the 5K split. So far, so good.
They've just passed the 10K mark, Errol, for the men. Benson, Caputo, or they're all the big group, have just run 29 minutes and 35 seconds, so they're still well under the course record pace. So all these gentlemen are looking very relaxed, very easy at this stage in the race, and so they should. It's only 10K, 1/4 of the distance done, but it is going to be amazing to see what can happen.
The time the men's record was broken here, 2013, 2:03.45. Dennis Kimetto with the field that we've got. If that record isn't broken, I expect to see something into the 2:05 mark, I'm sure. We'll see. All the top 5 times on the men's side, all under the 2:05 mark. Of course, we know about Kipchoge, Kirupta as well, 2:03.13. Tokyo, March this year. Tola of Ethiopia, 2:04.14. Hedon of Ethiopia in Sevilla, 2:04.43. Same time as well by Germu as well, April in Hamburg. All decent marathon courses, but all different. In Tokyo, Sevilla would have been sweltering with regard to the heat. Hamburg, not so much, but a decent course in Europe is Hamburg. Of course, Berlin, we all know how good that course is as well. Headlined by the one and only Kipchoge. So just highlight what you mentioned a few moments ago there, Ruben. There's the 10K split time. Nothing in it as well. The old cigarette paper job. 0.1 there from Kiproto, Mekkonen, Koech, Kissa, Tura.
I'd like to take the opportunity just to talk about one guy in this field. His name is Stefan Kissa. He's from Uganda. He's got a PB of 2 hours and 4 minutes and 48 seconds in Hamburg earlier this year in the spring. And we need to discuss that there's never been a Ugandan that has won a Abbott World Marathon Major. So with that in mind, and the fact that Kissa trains with none other than Joshua Kipnagai, who is the world record holder, as we know, in the 5K, 10K. He has also run a fast time of 13 minutes and 10 seconds for 5K, and get this, 27 minutes and 26 seconds on the track. He has also run well under 59 minutes for the half marathon, and has, as I said, his 2:04:48 for the Hamburg Marathon, his debut in the marathon, must I add, already in the spring this year. Really doing really well. She's 3 minutes ahead of Jenna Fessemeyer after 15K.
Well, you really have to tip your hat to this lady and give her a lot of prop, because she's had a lot of adversity in her life, in her career in the last few years, of course. Spent 4 months in a brace after sustaining a fracture to her vertebrae. Despite that, she's consistently finished inside the top 10 in Abbott marathons, 2 podium finishes in Chicago, 2012 and 18 as well. Factor in as well, you know, she's 31 on home soil. Missed out on a course record in Boston. So gang, me's business. So far, so good here. Should she maintain this kind of pace as well? Tatiana McFadden it was in 2017 with 1:39.15. Got herself the course record in Chicago. Are we on course for that, did you say, Ruben? 1:39.15.
Yes, exactly. So she is pretty close, I'd say, in getting that. There you go, the 15K, as we talked about, 34:41. They'll be coming up to the 20K mark very, very shortly, I would say.
So 3 minutes and 10 there is the buffer. That's the cushion that she has right now. Dawes and De Sousa as well, in Brazil as well. Nice little mini battle going on between those four, the chasing pack. Perhaps maybe too early to say it, you never know, but as to who's going to finish second and third, because this
is slowed down slightly, but let's face it, she's still on the course record, well under the course record set by Paula Radcliffe in 2002, and still on the world record pace so far in the race.
Still the 3 pacemakers. Just a brief chat as to what is going to happen with regard to those pacemakers. They're doing a good job here, keeping this field tightly bunched together.
Oh, looking very relaxed, I must admit. Back to Ruth again. She is 2 minutes, Errol, 2 minutes ahead of the chase pack of, dare I say it, maybe 5-6 people in the woman second pack.
Well, the last time we saw it was 45 seconds, so she's extended her lead by a good distance actually since we last saw her.
American men, we have Connor Muntz in his debut. He's done 30 minutes and 21 seconds for his first 10K, which is a very, very good and fast time for him. It's probably close to the time of running under the debut record for a US citizen. We have Frank Lara, also only 6 seconds behind, but just to put that into perspective, we have Kipnicic is only 20 seconds behind Connor Muntz at the 10K mark, Errol.
Wow, that's an incredible feat, that is. She keeps that up. Wow, are we in for a Wonderful finish here. And the ladies, so I don't get to see as much as the ladies as we would like often, but I suppose the skeptics will say, well, at the moment it isn't a race. If she's that far ahead at this stage, completely the opposite on the men's side. It's anybody's guess as to who's going to win, and that's what makes it so intriguing, really. So if you like your numbers, just going to throw a few your way here in Chicago, of course, 1977. That was the year of the first marathon. Since then, we've had just a touch under 1 million finishers in this marathon. When you factor in that in 77, only a couple of 1,000 people finished this race. So since then, as I mentioned time and time again, it really has flourished as a race as well. Had a couple of American records set at the Chicago Marathon as well. 5 world records set here in 32 years. As I mentioned as well, Perry Bukowski has been the race director of this marathon. It was 84 as well. We had the first wheelchair race. So again, year in, year out, this race doesn't disappoint.
What's interesting, Errol, is we have David Voldu, who's in this field. He ran a personal best in Rotterdam in 2021 of 2 hours, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. He is a former 1500 meter champion, African champion in 2007 and 2009. And he's competed at the 1500 meters in the both 2012 and 2016 Olympics. He's moved up to the marathon, and let's say he has run some amazing performances since starting his marathon career.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, when you factor in as well that despite at the age of 31, he doesn't have the marathon experience as some of the other elite runners here, but still got that drive, he's got that ability. We've seen that, we saw it as well in Rotterdam last year. Chicago Marathon is his first Abbott World Marathon Major, so the million-dollar question is, can he rise on the big stage here today?
Yes, and saying that, it's his first Abbott World Marathon race that he's competed in, so that might bring out the best in him, knowing that this is his first race and he has to prove himself so he can be on a few more of these later on in 2023.
So just behind Koech as well, Sophie Tura, last year's winner. Haven't spoken about him too much as well. 25 years of age, 2:04.29, that personal best. I think we're going to see a lot more victories under his belt in years to come. So there's the clamour for the liquids here. Be careful, a lot of bumping and barging that can go on sometimes as well. How often have you seen people take the wrong drink, Ruben?
Oh, at least once at a race. Once every drink station. It's you would think that there could be some way of making things better, but at this stage I don't think there's been any organizer that's been able to think of some way.
You think they would colour code it with their respective vests slash t-shirts that they're wearing? That would be the easiest way perhaps to distinguish which is your water or liquids bottle.
I see that they've just passed the 15k mark. 44 minutes and 22 seconds, which means that they're still under the 3 minutes per k pace of which is the course record. They need to be around 255, 256 per k, and they're definitely on that at this stage. And what's telling is that minutes and 19 seconds. Get this, my man Errol, it means that she's on par to run close to, at this stage in the race, 2 hours 10 minutes for the marathon.
Wow, that would be incredible to maintain that kind of speed.
Yet to have any of the other females pass her, past the 15k mark at this stage.
Well, she had plenty of pacemakers there to keep her company. That will certainly help the cause with regard to seeing a good time. Back to the men's race here as well. Fira Tamara of Ethiopia as well, we can see him there. Orange vest, just on the outside as well. Recorded 7 marathon finishes, including a personal best of 2:05.18 3 years back in Dubai. first place in that race, of course. First place in Seoul in the same year. Always manages to get himself into the top 5, so he's there or thereabouts. Usually starts the race very aggressively, a little bit more conservative here. Perhaps that's the quality of the field. Who knows? But he's in the shake-up. That's what counts at this stage.
At this stage, I'd also like to give a shout out to my 2 athletes out there running today. We have Göran Stromstedt from Stockholm. He's, after having a bit of health troubles this year, he's out to run close to 3 hours today. And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, Mats Oratorp, also out there to do a personal best today. And after seeing his latest performances in workouts and half marathons, he's definitely capable of running around about 3 hours 30 minutes to 3 hours 35 minutes today. So good luck, you two. I hope you're out there pounding those pavements, ready to run like your coach wants you to.
So yes, indeed, just have to concur with that. Good luck to those two as well. Hopefully you can get a decent time at the end as well. Just want to give a quick mention as well to all the volunteers who do stellar work behind the scenes, not only in Chicago, every marathon as well. 10,000 plus race day volunteers, medical personnel as well, should there be any kind of medical issues here, not only on the elite runners, the fun runners as well, and 12,000 charity participants as well, all trying to collect decent coin for a good cause. So here we are at the 15k split here with regard to the elite men's, and again, nothing between the chasing pack whatsoever. Koech it is, who leads the way behind a couple of pacemakers. As well, again, just about everybody we expected to be in this position are there as well. You mentioned Kissa, you mentioned Degu, you mentioned Tama as well. Haven't spoken too much about Bernard Koech of Kenya. Expect to see him perhaps get himself a podium finish today?
Yeah, I mean, you look at him in Valencia last year, he was runner-up. He has run some amazing times. However, he had a few problems between the years of 2016 and 2020. But last year, as I said, he ran 2:04.09 in Valencia. So he is definitely one guy to watch. His career highlights have been, you know, getting second in Valencia Marathon last year, coming 5th in Dubai in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 53 seconds in 2013. So I think we may see a resurgence of Koech in today's race. I've now got the update from the other woman in the race. We have second now is Emily Sisson, the woman who is the American, trying to break the American record. At this stage, she's well under the time of 2:19. She's on an estimated finishing time of 2 hours, 18 minutes and 35 seconds. So well done to her. She's, though, in saying that, she's 3 minutes behind Ruth Kipnicic at the 15k mark.
So Emily Sisson, of course, 6-time national champion and American half marathon record holder. She's got her work cut out to try and get herself into first position. Not sure she'll do it, but should she finish behind last year's winner? No shame in that at all.
Yes, the Sisson's American world women's record in the half marathon is 1 hour and 7 minutes and 11 seconds. But she wants to break 2 hours, 19 minutes and 12 seconds, which was set by Chiara D'Amato in Houston in January this year.
So there's our leading pack. 10 runners here, and the winner no doubt will come from this 10. Second and third place finishes as well. Things are beginning to tick over very nicely this morning in Chicago. So if you just tuned into our coverage, of course, we had ourselves an elite field. Finally looking at those guys, especially on the men's side. Last year's winner on the men's and women's side, both on the starting list once again as well. With regard to the wheelchair race, Susanna Scaroni of USA very much made that race her own. And Marcel Hood, the world record holder as well, very much in contention to maybe break its record or get within potentially getting close to it. So that's where we're at here. The main focus, as usual, is on the elite male race. It is the most competitive of the four.
In the American men, we still have, after 15K, Connor Muntz is ahead, but is a tight pack of him and Frank Lara, who are both running neck and neck at the moment, which, you know, we've talked about. I don't think we've talked about Frank Lara, but he is in fine form. He's definitely running a little bit better than what he's expected to, with a finishing time of 2 hours, 7 minutes and 16 seconds. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hang on throughout today's race. In putting that into perspective, again, my man Errol, if you look at Connor, they are now about a minute ahead of Ruth Kipnitich after 15K.
Well, at one stage it was 45 seconds, and here she is, right on cue. Just the one pacemaker now. Amazing to see the dynamic between running style, body language. Very, very smooth is our current women's leader. Just flagged slightly, if my memory serves me, at the end of last year's victory. So she's went off a blistering pace here today. Always going to be difficult to keep that kind of pace, but so far so good. She's blown away the rest of the field here. I almost feel that it's, unless something untoward happens, it could be a case of job done here for her. Just talk about the mindset when she's this far ahead, Ruben. As you said, she's currently checking her watch, and again, twice there in the space of 10 seconds. Is it just a case of her against the clock now?
I would say so. I mean, that's what I love about the marathon. Anything happen. But if you've got 3 minutes on the second bunch after 15K, then I'd be, unless she has some sort of serious hit the wall or stomach problems, which we know she has had in the past, I don't think we'll be seeing anyone beat her today. We should be coming up to the 20K mark for the elite men also very, very shortly. And then we'll be able to see where we are in relation to the course record today.
Let's not forget as well, in the half marathon in Istanbul last year, the world record 1:04.02.
That's incredible.
So she's translated the half marathon form well and truly into the full marathon form. So there it is, as you said, Ruben. 3 minutes there or thereabouts between herself and Emily Sisson, just ahead of Dessay, Meringor and Aga as well.
It seems to be that the Chicago Marathon is a American woman race. When you look at last year, we had Sarah Hall and who was the other one now? Finishing second and third. Last year, Hassay, that's right. They both finished second and third last year. And we see Sissons today also looking at this stage to be in the top 3 after 15K in today's race.
It's almost at the 1 hour mark. Giving her good encouragement as well. Really good and refreshing to hear that, because a lot of hard work, of course, goes on behind the scenes. How many marathon races do you expect, when fully fit, to see these people running that calendar year? 4, 5 or more?
I'd say, depending on whether you really want to perform at your best, I would say max 2, possibly 3 if you time it perfectly throughout the season. But typically, you know, you need anywhere between 12 and 16 weeks of quality training, and that's after being having your recovery after a marathon, which I normally say is roughly around 2 weeks.
So some more liquids about to be taken on board here as well. Mentioned that there's some good prize money on the table for the winners here as well. Let's not forget the amount of money that was raised for charity last year as well. 170 charities in total, $21 million
Holy.
raised last year. So well done to everybody there with regard to that as well. And of course, Bank of America as well write themselves a nice check as well for those charities. So well done to those guys as well. Of course, Rita Solar Cook as well, the president of Bank of America. I'm sure we'll see her or a dignitary representing the bank at the end of the race. Well done to you guys as well for that.
I think we just saw the leading men here cross the 20K mark at just over 59 minutes. Unfortunately, that means that they are slightly slower than the course record now. Only slightly, so they still, with 12, 13 people, including the pacemakers in this race, they could still well and truly go after a really, really good time and possibly the course record. They're not too far away to not be able to do that.
But the pacemakers are still there, and there's 3 of them. I don't know how long they'll stick around for, or how close to the end as well. A gentle reminder, 2:03:45 while we talk about course records set in 2013.
Yeah, so at this moment, expected finishing time is 2 hours, 4 minutes and 53 seconds. So definitely the caliber of this field, the caliber of the runners in this leading pack, the course record is still not lost.
Well, should it be that projected time? That would be good enough to get into the top 5 times run this year. All under 2:05, 2:04:43, the 5th and 4th fastest times in Sevilla and Hamburg. So we need to turn on the gas slightly more come the end, and the longer these guys can stay bunched up, I think the better the time will be.
Definitely.
It's all noisy. Again, crowds have now come out in good numbers. Boy, do they really give a helping hand here to the runners. Shame that Galen Rupp isn't here. Really have got well accustomed to seeing him run American marathons over the last few years, but as he said, if he needs to heal up, then I hope he does that, and he's back next year. So there is where we are, 20K gone. It's 22.195 to go.
And we saw that Mo Farah seems to be back in running action. He ran the London half, I think it was, early or late September, and won that race quite convincingly. So let's hope he is back on the up and up, and we get to see him and Rupp race over the 2023 season.
Good friends, of course, training partners or former training partners. They know each other well on the track and as well as the road. And yeah, we know that as well. Let's hope both of those two can have a better 2023.
So, what do you think, Errol, at this stage? Ruth, what do you think? I've just got her 20K time in. What do you think she has just run for 20K?
Well, a very, very good question. I think she's found another level and gone even faster.
Yeah, she's run 1 hour, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, which means if she keeps this average pace up over the first part of the race, that means she's on target to run 2 hours, 11 minutes and 11 seconds, which would thrash the world record set by Bridget Kaskai in 2019 here. It is perfect conditions. The sun is getting warmer. Can she hold on? What do you think, Errol?
Well, we'll see. Let's hope so. She set out like she means business. That's the question that we've been throwing her way. Can she maintain it as well? And she'll need another couple of pacemakers perhaps just to drag her along. Last time we saw it was only the one. It's 3 at one stage, but we want that, we need it. Just throws a touch more glitter on the proceedings here in Chicago, should she get that record. So fingers crossed, but again, the main focus is on back to our female leader. Same pacemaker, same position, same scenario. Well ahead of the rest of the field. Some 3 minutes or so ahead of the chasing pack. The last time we saw her, 1:05.44 at the half marathon part of this race. So she's looking good. Tick that box with regard to her pace at the halfway point. Next challenge is to maintain this kind of pace. Go ahead and not only get the last year when Ramoncha just made it his own, really. I remember it very vividly, but shame we didn't see Ramoncha once again as we swing back to the men's race. And one of the pacemakers now finds himself at the back of the pack.
It looks like we only have one pacemaker now, pace number 3.
Well, that's the question I was just touching upon 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes ago, as to how long all the pacemakers would be there with this chasing pack. So we've gone over the midway point. Expected them maybe just to hang around just for slightly longer. It proved to be there. 3 pacemakers has now been cut down to 1. Kissa as well. You mentioned him, of Uganda. In the white vest there. Very unorthodox running style compared to some of the others, I have to say, but it's highly effective.
Hopefully pace 3 can stay pacing these guys at least to the 30k mark. I think last year, if we look back, I think all the pacemakers had dropped off by 25k, and then the pace slowed down slightly for about 5k, but we'll see what happens this year. Tura, last year's winner, has been an unspoken about hero so far in this race. He's just tucked in behind all the other runners, biding his time, and looks very, very comfortable there right now.
A similar kind of position he was at last year, actually. We didn't talk about him much. As you mentioned, the strategy worked and worked very well. So there we are, the half marathon point. There are our leaders as well. Tura as well, last year's winner, very much in the mix as well. Kipruto as well, just behind him on the fringes of the front battle.
We have Tamru there as well, who we haven't spoken about. Personal best of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 18 seconds, set in Dubai in 2019. He is Daegu Marathon in South Korea, first place. Seoul Marathon, first place. He seems to like the marathons in South Korea.
Fifth as well here in 2021. Last year, 2:09.39, so he knows this course. That was his first Abbott event as well, so well done to him for that. There we are, there's that clamour for the liquid. .1:25.21 there for Marcel Hug. So another Swiss sensation has taken the plaudits in Chicago. Heinz Frey held that record for 12 years. No longer. That now belongs to another Swiss marathon wheelchair athlete. Marcel Hug has won the men's event.
Saying that between the pace of 20 and 25k, this group has now picked up the pace, and instead they are getting closer to running around 2 hours and 4 minute pace with the last pace increase. So again, with this many people still in the mix, I think the course record is still a possibility, Errol. It is going to be an amazing race to comment like last year. We had a fantastic time, you and I, calling to the last 800 meters. We still had people bustling it out until Tura came through and ran and bet everyone the last 400, 500 meters.
Well, he's completely demolished the competitive field there as Marcel Hug in the wheelchair event. Expected the men's elite runners to give us a competitive field. Well, so it's proved to be. We had 12. You can see, I think that is now down to 9 or 10. Just the one pacemaker now to guide them along towards that finishing tape. So just a quick word about the World Abbott Major Series. Of course, for runners across the globe as well, it's a significant accomplishment. 6 of the largest and renowned races in the world, as I mentioned before: Tokyo, Boston, Berlin, London, Chicago and New York as well. Just gives the marathon runners a touch more ranking points to add to their list as well. 6-star finishes as well. The series format sees 25 points for a first place finish, 16, 9, 4 and 1 for a second to a 5th place finish as well.
For you American watchers around the world, we have Connor Muntz, who's also still on the equivalent of breaking the debut American record. Currently expected finish time is 2 hours, 7 minutes and 26 seconds. If we go back to Kipnitich, her current pace at the 15k was 1 hour 18 minutes, sorry, 25k, 1 hour 18 minutes and 03 seconds, which gives her an expected finish time still of under 2 hours 12 minutes. Errol, we are about to see history, I believe.
Let's hope so, fingers crossed. That's what we want. That's what the spectators want to see. History in the making. We've just seen it just a few moments ago with a Marcel Hug. I think this lady could be about to follow suit as well. That pacemaker. So a win double in Chicago for Marcel Hug. Did so in 2017, 1:29.23. Shaved a huge amount of time off that 4 years after, 5 years after, in fact. So congratulations to Marcel Hug. He can rest up now. Perhaps have a sneaky peek at the rest of the race here on the men's side, but in the bank for him is a new Chicago course record, 1:25.21.
So looking at the distance now between Ruth Kipnicic and Emily Sisson, first and second in the women's race. Right now it is over 4 minutes, but we still have a big group of Emily Sisson, Haven Hailu, Vivian Kiplagat and Ruta, also all in a tight bunch in the second chase pack after 25k.
Things just beginning to thin out now with regard to our leading pack. From 12 down to 8, 1:25.30. Heading towards the latter stages of this race very shortly from now. So could be in for another cracking finish as well. Let's see. Tura played his cards beautifully this time last year to get that victory. Really have to reiterate how well he run that race. There he is on the right-hand side now. He's checking his watch. He's looking very, very neat and tidy with regard to everything so far.
So since you've forgotten, Errol, what is your prediction of this men's race then? Who do you think's going to win?
He's going to win again.
Tura?
I believe so. I think so. He's going to make it a win double.
I think Kisa.
Well, there you go.
I would love to see a non-Kenyan, non-Ethiopian athlete win today's race.
Well, it will be a huge feat should he do it at 33 years of age. I have to say that though, his personal best, well, that was set this year in Hamburg. So despite that age that I've just touched upon, he still has a bit of gas left in the tank, doesn't he? Having showcased his abilities and talent on the roads, he still believes he's better on the road. He is on the track. The track is where really he set most of his records. Of course, the 1,500-metre steeplechase events, 5,000 and 10,000 metres. Having also represented Uganda several times on the global stage in the IIIF World Championships in 2017 and 19. So your money's on him. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Kissa says Mr. Ruben McRae. Myself, I'm going for last year's winner, so we'll see who's wrong and who's right, but hopefully we'll both be wrong. You never know. There's enough talent there to make me and Ruben eat our words.
It's only positive we get to eat our words, isn't it, Errol?
Indeed, indeed. So the pacemaker's still there. Good to see him still there. The other three have gone. He's beginning to grimace, isn't he? Grinding his teeth. We'll see how much longer he can hold on for. Oh, there you go, right on cue. He stepped aside and he will play no further part in this race. Looked like he was feeling the pinch on his face in there. There he is now on the sidelines.
Almost made the 30k mark, which is very impressive.
So here we can see Yima, Koech, Tura now.
Here we come to the 30k mark. It always coincides with the drink station.
Well, here we are. Here are our leading four men here.
Tura, Korea, Koech, and Kip Korea.
Well, there's your man Kissa just on the fringes of the battle there. Now, whether he's fatigued or not, we don't know. Whether it's tactical, we'll find out. Right now, here's our leading four. No pacemakers now for the duration of this race. Things are just beginning to heat up very nicely here on the men's side.
Of those four, Tura, last year's winner, Korea. He is a man to really think he could be the one that takes it today. 209, his personal best. He's probably the slowest out of these four runners in the top. It's his debut in an Abbott World Marathon Major. So he could be definitely. Kipruto, Koech also 2:04.09 in Amsterdam in 2001. Kipruto 2:05.13. So Koech, of these four runners, is probably the slowest at the moment. Got four runners. We got Kisa in the background, but I don't think we'll see him again in this lead bunch for the rest of the race.
So 1:39.21 to Korea, as you said. Korea, last year's winner. And it was at this stage, really, where that mind of his was just ticking over. He played it like a game of chess, really. Just 3 moves ahead of the rest of the field to get himself his first marathon victory.
3 Kenyan athletes versus 1 Ethiopian athlete. We look at the fastest times, or the 20 top performances in Chicago. Kenya has the top 5 times ever. And then we have 2 Ethiopians in front of Mo Farah.
So as expected, everything has gone completely according to the script with regards to a Kenyan-Ethiopian battle. Well, who's going to get that victory? We've seen it for so many years now, and I'm sure we'll continue to see it for many years to come as well. This mini battle between these two countries that dominated long-distance racing now on the road as well as the track. So Yima at one stage was looking in a good position. Not quite see where he is now. Kisa, it is, of Uganda. There's another one, a marathon. He's got some ground to make up here. So there's our top 4. Side by side here. All looking very, very good at the moment here. Well, wouldn't it be wonderful to see these 4 having a sprint finish at the end? No misdemeanors today in Chicago with regard to the runners being sent in the wrong direction. If you are a marathon enthusiast, well, let's factor in at the Stockholm Marathon this year as well. That happened, of course. Not so this year. How refreshing is that to say and see?
I must admit, I see Korea, who's actually in front of everyone here, and only just leading the way, has had a fantastic year this year. He defended his title in the Los Angeles Marathon with a personal best of 2 hours, 9 minutes and 8 seconds. He also finished second in the Houston Half Marathon with a personal best time of 1 hour and 27 seconds. He's 25 years of age, but what is also interesting is Wesley Korea, who is the 2012 Boston Marathon champion, is his older brother. So he has the genes to run extremely fast.
Really is a nice little battle, this. 2 Kenyans. 3 Kenyans, I should say. 1 Ethiopian, but it's the age as well. So last year's winner, 25. Koech, 34. Karai, 25. Kipruto, 31. Youth against experience. When you have a look at all of their respective CVs, very, very impressive, of course. Certainly none other than Kipchoge Korea of Kenya.
So in the women's race, Ruth Kipnitich has now got almost 5 minutes ahead of the chasing pack of 4 runners. Vivian Kiplagat, Emily Sisson is still there. We got Ruti, and we've got Sora, shall I say, and we've got Amare. So all those 4 women are chasing hard here, and that's after the 30k mark. We're coming up to the 35k mark shortly for the men. I would say there we go, we've already just gone past the 35k. And we've gone through in 1 hour and 43 minutes and 4 seconds, which means they have picked up the pace again. They're now only 30 seconds behind the course record. 2 hours and 4 minutes and 15 seconds is the expected finishing time. So they definitely picked up the pace, Errol, by about 15 seconds over that last 5K.
Well, if that is to be the projected time, that makes it even more interesting, because 3 of the 4 have run that kind of time in their careers. The one exception to the rule, that being Korea, 2:09.08, Los Angeles this year, his personal best. All the others have been in and around that kind of time. Kipruto, 2:05.13, Toronto 3 years ago. Koech as well, Amsterdam last year. Tura, 2:04.29, Milan last year. So that makes it even more intriguing now as to whether Korea will keep up with these guys now as we approach the end. Certainly looks okay. Stride pattern is good, shoulders looking nice and relaxed. Well, you can say the same for all 4 of them, actually.
My man, Joran Stromstedt, my athlete who's running Chicago after having a bit of a tough year, health-wise, has just run the first half of the race in 1 hour and 35 minutes. Well done, Joran. I know you're not listening to me, but I know your family is. So, well done. You're doing a fantastic job, my friend. So keep it up.
Not too far away now from ending where we started, of course, Grant Park. Quite there just yet, but closer and closer here. One of these 4 gentlemen. Maybe Kisser can make up that ground, but at the moment these are 100 meters or so behind, so way streets ahead of the rest of the field. Here is our lead lady in the women's race, last year's winner. Still has the same pacemaker for company here, dragging her along to what we hope will be an excellent time.
Let's just remember, at the 30K mark, she was still up by about 1 minute and 45 seconds on the world record pace set by Bridget Koskai here in 2019. She still has her pacemaker, Errol, still connected like glue to him, and that's going to help for sure.
Congratulations again to Susanna Scaroni, thoroughly deserved victory for the first time in her career as well. Her sporting motto, let what you do be the signature of who you are. Well,
Koech has now dropped off. Now we're down to 3. Korea, Kipruto and Tura. Your money's still on Tura. Mr. Ariel?
It is indeed. I will not change my mind. I believe this man is going to win back-to-back Chicago marathons. You never know. Kipruto as well. Wealth of experience, 31 years of age is the Kenyan. So we'll see. Of course, Tura of Ethiopia, just 25. Really impressed with what I saw of him last year. Looks relaxed. My money still very firmly is on him, Ruben, for sure. We'll see. We shall see.
We're probably at around about 5.5, 6K to go. No, should I say 5K to go almost? You're right.
Not too far away. What's the projected time look like? Are we still on course for a time under the 2:05 minute mark?
Definitely under the 2:05. We are 2 hours, 4 minutes and 15 seconds at the 35K mark.
So Kipruto, Tura, Karai, first, second and third. 2 Kenyans, 1 Ethiopian. Well, when you have a look at how many marathons these guys have won in their career.
So
4 between the 3.
Mr. Errol, so it's going to be a tight finish now for Kipnitich to get under the world record. She's now slowed slightly between 30 and 35K, but she is now past the 35K mark, capable right now. She keeps the pace up of running 2 hours, 13 minutes and 7 seconds. She's definitely got the course record. No, she doesn't, because that's the world record. But she's definitely close and have it within her grasp.
So, Tura now. He's been on the fringes of things. Everything's just been in front of him now. Are we going to see a repeat of what we saw this time last year, where he gets himself in front? But that was that, really. Been an excellent 2022 for him. Personal best in a half marathon with a second place finish in Paris. A highly impressive 6th place finish at the World Athletics Marathon Championships in Oregon this year, 2:07.17.
Oh, now we've got down to 2 runners, it looks like.
Well, 12 at the midway point, cut down to 8, then to 4, now down to 2. So, perhaps Kipruto, see him run his race, we'll see.
He's finding it hard, Errol. I think Tura is finding it definitely hard to keep up with him. But he is hanging on.
Well, Kipruto is a man that we know that has a good gas tank. He's gained a reputation, who knows when to kick, knows when to find that extra gear. He's made that reputation, he's forged that reputation out for many years now. Tactics that have led to 3 big career victories to his name. Are we about to see 4th? After a slow start to his career, I think he's got better and better, actually. We're getting that personal best, 2:05.13. That is on, if he can maintain this pace, to beat that personal best and get the victory. So, I put my money here on last year's winner, Tura, and as we speak, he's got a bit of a gap to make up now. Still enough time to do it, but at this stage of the race, you don't want to be playing catch-up. A quick look over his shoulder to see where the 3rd place runner is. And Kipruto does the same as well, so he's made that move I think relatively early. We'll see whether Tura can respond to that. We'll see.
I think we'll probably see Kuria catching Tura. At this stage, he looks like he's gaining on him a little bit, so it'll be maybe a fight, sprint to the finish between those 2. I think he's given up the hope of getting 1st place as Tura, and Kipruto is running on his own with about 3K to go, 3K to run.
Well, it really does run in the family. Running Benson Kipruto, of course, defeated his older brother to win the Prague Marathon. 2015 Chicago Marathon champion. Of course, his older brother 7th in the London Marathon in 2020. He's been around the block, this guy. Got a lot of mileage on the clock at 31 years of age. Let's not forget what he did in Boston last year when he got himself that victory. 2:09.51, he's going to smash that.
What was impressive about that, he ran 14 minutes and 5 seconds for the 5K between 35 and 40, which is unbelievable on that course.
He's making it look ever so easy here, isn't he? Just another look over the shoulder as well. But it's about to get a lot more noisier now as we once again approach Grant Park. They could do with that as well, just to give them an extra bit of motivation, an extra burst of speed. How are we doing on the ladies' side, Ruben?
I was just checking that, so let me get those numbers up for everyone. We have now the top still at this stage. There we go, Emily Sisson is now 5 minutes and 10 seconds behind Ruth Kipnitich, and she is on target to still run. She's running very consistently as Sisson's, running under 2 hours and 19 minutes. So with 7K to go, we are on the cards to getting an American record by Sissons today. So fantastic run by her.
Well, the top American performers in Chicago, Jordan Hassey, 2:20.57 with a second place finish, 2017. Joan Benoit Samuelson as well, 2:21.21. Dina Castor. So, those ladies are in danger of seeing those times being bettered here by Emily Sisson.
What is interesting though is in the men's, for the first time, Connor Munns is actually just off of the American debut record of 2 hours, 7 minutes and 56 seconds by 20 seconds, 19 seconds at the 35K mark. So he's known to have a fast finish. He's known to dig deep, to really put it all on the line. So hopefully with this last 7.5 to 7K to go, he can pull one out of the bag and get that debut American record.
So this is our leader. Let's not forget his brother finished second and third in Chicago. Is this man about to go one better? We'll see. Top 4 finishes in Boston, London, and again in Boston. So Boston is the marathon where we really see the very best of him. Chicago this year could see him emulate that. A nice bit of distance between himself and last year's winner, Tura. Can't quite see what the disparity is, but this man is looking relaxed, personified now as we are getting closer towards the latter stages now of this event.
And I think they've just passed the 40K mark, so it's less than 2K to go now. So let me just follow up here. Yes, 1 minute and 57, sorry, 1 hour and 57 minutes and 47 seconds. He's now got 11 seconds on Tura. He is definitely picked up the pace, and it looks like he's capable of running just under 2 hours and 4 minutes if he keeps the pace up.
Well, that's a better camera angle to see the fractions between the first, the second and the third place runners here. There's a slight grimace there from Tura. Could see that from here as well. Unless something untoward happens, I don't believe he's going to make up that distance between himself and this fella.
1:57.47. As I said, Tura was about 11 seconds behind Kipruto at the 40K mark.
So the top 20 performers on the men's side in Chicago. 5 of them have been from Kenya. Chumba, the brother of this man, of course. Kimeto, the course record holder. Mutai, Kipchoge, Kitwara, all the way back in 2014. So Kenyans love Chicago with regard to marathon running on the men's side. this man. This is going to be his biggest victory to date if he just needs to hold things together here. Keep it going. And that victory will be his very, very shortly from now. The crowd have come out in good numbers to cheer him along. And just look at that. I think he's stretched his lead even further.
We must be nearing the finish line when you hear all the crowd now cheering them on. A fantastic race in all of the races today. Shortly we should have an update for you on the woman, Ruth Kipnitich. It'll be amazing to see how close she is to breaking the world record. She's definitely going to break her own personal record. Even if her legs fell off, she is close to thrashing that time right now.
We'll just have to keep an eye on this chap here and the clock. A personal best set in Toronto 3 years ago, 2:05.13. I think he's going to beat that.
He will definitely beat that. He'll get close to 2 hours and 14 minutes. I think just over 2 hours and 4 minutes is where he's going to land, based on his current pace.
Won't get him into the top 5 fastest times this year. I don't think that'll matter one iota to him. A victory in Chicago, that's something that you can remember for the rest of your career. And of course, when you finally hang up your running shoes as well. So 13 seconds ahead of Tura now. Last year's winner, at one stage I thought he may have done it again, made it a win double, but this man had other ideas.
Ruined your donut party, Errol.
Indeed he has. There you go. 2 minutes on the lips, 2 months on the hips. So perhaps that donut is best to stay in its package or on the shelf of whatever shop you was going to get it from. There you go. So the crowd again just showing appreciation here for Benson Kipruto of Kenya. And what a race this man has run up until this point as well.
Fantastic event.
Well, it was special for him to win in Boston. He mentioned that in his interview. That's when people really start to talk about you even more often. Of course, you're among the best athletes in the world when you win a major. Not on the 6th major marathon list, of course, is some of the other marathons where we've seen him win. But this one in Chicago certainly is, and he knows he's ever so close now.
Yeah, I just saw they passed the 800-meter mark, and now they're coming up to the 600 meters to go mark in about 3 seconds.
So here we go, Kipruto and the clock now, and he's getting ever closer. Just another look over the shoulder. He knows he's there now. There's no doubt about that. Tura has been beaten into submission here by this man. It was nip and tuck 5 or 6 kilometers ago. After that, he just grabbed this marathon by the scruff of its neck, and he's about to add the Bank of America Chicago Marathon to his ever-growing resume. Benson Kipruto has emulated his brother. He's gonna just do exactly what he set out to do just over 2 hours ago, and that is to win this race. 3rd in Boston this year, 1st in Boston last year. Loves to run stateside. And the crowd again just ringing their bells, showing appreciation. There's the disparity between himself and Tura. Tura just couldn't do it again this year. Another stellar field it was that all descended into Chicago to add plenty of weight to this race. But it's this fella here who won't break the course record, 2:03.45. That will remain intact, Dennis Kometo. But he's going to add his name to the roll of honour here is Kipruto. That final turn, now he can see that ribbon. It's in vision. What a sight that must be for any marathon runner once you see that tape, knowing that victory is yours. Well, look at that, just looks as relaxed now as what he did at the start. Incredible from this fella, absolutely incredible. There's our winner. He's almost there, 50 meters to go. And there is the victory for the 31-year-old Kenyan. Benson Kipruto, who has won this year's Bank of America Chicago Marathon.
His time puts him number 4 of all time in Chicago, Errol.
Oh, there you go, it doesn't get any better than that. Only Kipchoge, Mutai and Kometo ahead of him with regard to better times in Chicago. What a list that is. And he's shown us exactly what he's all about today. Benson Kipruto of Kenya. Another Kenyan victory in Chicago. They just love the conditions here. And again, they've shown us that to defeat these guys, boy, you have to be very, very good.
So Kipruto, 2 hours, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Tura, 2 hours, 4 minutes and 49 seconds. And Korea, 2 hours, 5 minutes and 1 second. So an amazing result by the top 3, all close to the 205 or under the 205 mark.
Oh, incredible race. You just got a pat on the back there from the executive race director, Kerry Pinkowski. Deservedly so as well. He'll get himself a nice sum of money as well, $75,000. And again, into the top 5 fastest ever times in Chicago. So this lady, well, I think she had this race sewn up and in the bag many kilometres ago. How is she doing with regards to breaking that personal best? And not only that, top performers in Chicago as well, please.
She's now just ran through the 40k mark. Her pacemaker, I saw, has just dropped to the side. So let's have a look here. No, it still hasn't come up yet, but it will be here very, very shortly. But I would say she, with her running style, how her heel lift is, she's still running very, very well here.
Well, that personal best is 2:17.08 Dubai 3 years ago.
She would definitely beat that.
Well, it just shows it, doesn't it? She's getting better and better with every marathon. Her record in marathons is absolutely sublime, really. It's unprecedented. First place finishes in every marathon, all bar one. It's going to be once again in Chicago. So last year's winner is going to win again. So we're on for a Kenyan 1-2 again in Chicago on the men's and the women's side. And it's amazing to think she's still 28 years of age.
Oof. So, Errol, with the 40k mark done and dusted, she has an expected finish time of 2 hours 14 minutes for exactly, which is 4 seconds under Brigitte Koskai's world record set in 2019. Is she going to do it, Errol? What do you think?
Just give me a reminder of that time again, please, Ruben.
2 hours, 14 minutes and 4 seconds. At the moment, with 2.2k to go, she was on a pace of 2 hours, 14 minutes exactly.
Well, hold on to your hats. We could be in for a wonderful finish here. What a race this has been here in Chicago. We knew it was going to be good, and so far it has not disappointed at all. So, last year's winner now, all cameras, all focus are on here. The wheelchair race on the men's and ladies' side done and dusted. The men's elite runners, the top 3, are resting up now. It's all eyes, all focus on this lady, 28 years of age, the Kenyan, Ruth Chepngetich now, who holds a marathon personal best at 2:17.08. That's going to go. That will be blown out of the water. What she'll do after that, that remains to be seen. She's checking her watch and she knows history could be in the offing and in the making here. She can just keep this kind of pace here.
She actually looks like she's picked it up a bit, to tell you the truth, Errol. Just by the way of her arm action, her legs, it feels like she is actually increasing the pace.
Well, we met the legend Eliud Kipchoge a couple of weeks ago in Berlin, set another world record, breaking his own world record, 2:01.09. Are we on to see the women's record? Paula Radcliffe for so many years held that record before, of course, Brigitte Koskai took over. Are we about to see it handed over here to this lady as well? Well, it's only fitting that we stand up here for the remainder of this race, because we could be blown away here by the superb marathon running that we've seen in the last 24 months or so from this lady.
I mean, just incredible. We knew that she wanted to get revenge after the stomach trouble in the World Championships in Oregon. She spoke that she was in really, really good shape, and the current sign says that she's 10 seconds under world record pace. We're going to see the first time in our lives a woman running under 2 hours and 14 minutes for the marathon. Incredible, incredible, incredible.
You have to believe that some of the crowd have tapped into that. Yes, they give great encouragement to all the leaders here, but some of them must know that we're on for a slice of history once again. Let's hope so. Just imagine that Kerry Penofsky here must be absolutely holding on to that baseball cap of his, because what a big coup it would be for him as well, should we get that world record.
We're probably at around about, you know, somewhere between 800 to 1K left in the race. Can she pull it off? Can she do it? Can she do it? I hope she can. It'll be amazing yet again, Errol, that you and I get to stand here and talk on international television and see another world record being broke at the Chicago Marathon.
Well, he is a bit of a lucky charm, really, with regard to world records, Kerry Penofsky. 4 of the Chicago Marathon, 5 world records have been set during his time as the executive race director. 1999, Kenya's Catherine Nadeba as well in 2001. Paula Ratcliffe, Kenya's Bridget Kosgei in 2019, Steve Jones all the way back in 1984. Fast forward here until 2022. Is history about to repeat itself again here in Chicago? Let's hope so.
She's digging deep. She's got the whole body moving now. She is tired. You can see the movement in her head. She's really, really digging deep now, but her running style is still running very nice. Are we going to see it? 800 meters to go now. Less than 800 meters to go.
Well, her coach, Federico Rossa, well, he must be absolutely on the edge of his, she must be absolutely on the edge of his seat, sorry, because this is going to be a fantastic achievement, whether she does it or not. Kind of time, she set out like she meant business. The big question was as to whether she could maintain this pace all the way to the end. Shoulders just beginning to sway side to side now. She knows that she's going to have to dig very deep, physically and mentally, to get that world record time. And I think the crowd know that. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Really doing their part. Boy, she could do with a pacemaker now, just to give her a helping hand or so.
On her own since 2K ago. But she's coming up the hill. She needs to fight, she needs to push, she needs to drive those arms up that hill, quicken that leg speed and move if she's going to get under the 2 hours and 14 minutes. Just remember, the world record is 2 hours, 14 minutes and 4 seconds.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, 4.27 seconds ahead. So can she do it? That's the million-dollar question now. Slight incline just to get through as well. That certainly doesn't help the cause, but again, this is where you know that she's going to have to dig in. She has immense ability, immense belief in that ability. We've seen that in the last few years now. Since Dubai, really, when she set that personal best of hers, she's gone on to win so many things. The Istanbul half marathon world record last year, 1:04.02. We knew and we know that she can do it at the half marathon record, but at the full marathon, now that is where she's really beginning to show us exactly what she's all about. So again, a gentle reminder that the world record is 2:14.04. She's going to have to go some now to break that record. Another turn that she's just got through. The final sprint now, she can see that ribbon. Gritted teeth here from last year's winner.
15 seconds to go.
Well, can she do it again? Where's that clock? We need to see that clock right here, right now. She's just beginning to kick now. She's beginning to kick again. Hard, strong, grinding her teeth. Where's that clock? We need to see whether she's broken the world record here or not. Last year's winner has done it again. That's conclusive. It was so from a good couple of hours ago as to who was going to win. What we didn't know as to what kind of time she would get. There's the ribbon. There's our winner. And we need to know as to whether she has a new world record or not here.
I think she just missed it, unfortunately.
Well, you have to say, maximum effort to her. She gave it absolutely everything until the end of that race. She's out on her feet, and, well, you can understand that as well. So back-to-back victories for her as well. Here's Emily Sisson of USA, who's run a very, very steady race as well. Have to say as well, 6-time national champion and the American half marathon record holder as well. Is going to finish what we believe will be a very and highly respectable second place here today.
She will get second place, and at this stage she is still well under the 2 hours and 19 minutes, so she is going to get the American record. We're just getting better and better.
Well, yeah, that, well, look at that. She gave it absolutely everything. Really have to enjoy it. What we saw here, 2:14.18, not far off that new world record. Well, what a time that is. That is the fastest time this year by some distance. Well, she almost did it.
Amazing result.
Well, Bridget Kosgei, perhaps you can breathe a huge sigh of relief that your world record remains intact, but this lady did everything she could to get it.
Yeah, she's definitely left it all out on the track.
Well, she did indeed. Well, she's smashed minutes off her personal best. That is gone. What an event we have seen here today. Just cannot emphasise again just how good it has been. And boy, she certainly could do with a sit down after that. Incredible marathon by her.
The American man, Mr. Connor Mutz, ran 2 hours and 8 minutes and 16 seconds. So he was outside the debut record for an American citizen. But this lady is on a first-class course to running the fastest race ever run by an American woman.
So there is the elite men's final results. Benton Kiprutu 2:04.24. One of the fastest times this year. In fact, it is the 4th fastest time of 2022. Tura, last year's winner, in the end just couldn't bridge that gap, almost 30 seconds behind, and career as well in 3rd place. Koech, Tamru and Hosoya of Japan coming on strong there in the end. The 27-year-old Japanese to get himself a 6th place finish as well.
She's got a 2:23.08 personal best set in London in 2019. 10th overall in the 10,000.
Pity we're not back looking at the women's finish for Sissons. It'd be nice to see. Here she comes.
Well, you said she's going to break the American time. She should do 2:20.57. Jordan Hasay in 2017 set that record. So 30 years of age now is Emily Sisson. 2020 Tokyo Olympian, of course, 10th place in the 10,000 metres, but what an excellent race she's run here today. Really has. Grimacing as well, just throwing everything into it to get that better time. Again, her personal best, that's going to go as well. 2:23.08 set in London 3 years ago for Sisson. Oh, there you go. Well done, that lady.
Yeah, 2:18.20. Chiara Diamato in Houston earlier this year in January ran 2:19.12. But this lady, Sisson, has just ran huge PB and a record, American record, by almost 60 seconds.
There you go. Been a good day for America. Of course, the winner in the women's wheelchair race, Susanna Scaroni, and Emily Sisson AR. A very, very respectable 2nd place finish. And our winner, of course, Ruth Chepngetich of Kenya. Oh, look at that, something about the weather conditions perhaps, the magnitude of the athletes we had on the start line here today. I don't know what it is, but records have tumbled here today. And this marathon, I said, just gets better and better every single year, it seems. 2008, the Bank of America have been the title sponsor.
Congratulations.
They're doing a great job as well.
You've won Boston, you've won Toronto, now a win in Chicago. How do you feel?
I'm so happy for today's race, and two things, the winning and a personal best. So I'm so happy.
Spoken like a true elite runner. Your brother is Dixon Chumba.
Yes.
2015 champion here in Chicago. He's preparing for a race, so you couldn't talk to him yet.
Yeah.
What are you going to say to him about your win today?
I would say I'm so happy that the history of the family continues. And I wish him all the best. I'm here to take up from where he left. That's it, thank you.
And how do you like running in Chicago? You've run here before, but this is your first win here. How do you like the Chicago course?
I like Chicago course because it's a flat course. The city itself is a good city. Also, spectators, they like it running, so they cheer all the way, and they motivate us through the course.
Well, a personal best here. Congratulations, Benson. Hope to see you again back here in Chicago next year, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much. Asante sana.
Yes. Your men's winner, Ben Skipruto.
It's been a highly enjoyable race here. Of that, there's very little doubt. Records have tumbled left, right and centre here. I have to say that the Kenyans once again have dominated on the men's and the women's side as well. Again, just to bring you up to speed as to what has happened. The first victory, a new course record set in the men's wheelchair event. Marcel Hug, it was, of Switzerland, 1:25.20. Streets ahead of Ramon Chuk, who has won the Chicago event on many occasions. Pike as well, making it an American 2-3. Watanabe, Mohan and Smith making up the top six there. So a course record, that was the first to go here. Marcel Hug of Switzerland, getting the best ever time here in Chicago, beating his fellow Swiss Heinz Frey, who held the record from all the way back in 2010. Once that was done and dusted, of course, we had an American victory in the women's wheelchair event. That was Susanna Scaroni, who came through to get her first ever victory in Chicago. The Americans dominated the field there in the women's wheelchair event. McFadden, who has held sway here with regard to winning many Chicago events, ahead of Fesmeyer and Huang as well, finishing fourth. De Sousa of Brazil just ahead there of Dawes of Australia. Things really got hot with regard to the men's events. Last year's winner, Tura, was in the mix, but couldn't emulate what he did last year, and it was Benson Kiprutu with a new personal best to repeated what his brother did all the way back in the day in Chicago to get the victory. That new personal best, 2:04.24, some 25 seconds ahead of Tura Korea as well. Koech, Tamru and Hosoya of Japan making up the top six men there with regard to elite runners. What an event that was. Ebbed and flowed before Kiprutu turned on the afterburners, made that race his own really. With that time, that is the fourth fastest time I should say of 2022. So what a good day at the office it was there for Benson Kiprutu, continuing the dominance here of the Kenyans in the last 6 years or so. With regard to the women's, last year's winner, well, that was conclusive really after 5k as to where that victory was going to go. Ruth Chepngetich of Kenya won last year, 2:14.14. Not a million miles away from a new world record, ladies and gentlemen. She gave it everything in the end, but she just ran out of gas. So that is the fastest ever time in Chicago. Another course record set there on the women's side. She certainly earned herself a good rest as well. Just 28 years of age. I'm sure she'll be back in Chicago next year. And who would bet against her making it a hat-trick? But for now, without a doubt, the day belongs to the Kenyans. A 1-2 again, Kipruto and Chepngetich. And again, Emily Sisson as well, finishing second on the women's side. 2:18.20, the best American time here by a female in Chicago. So all in all, everybody involved with the Bank of America Chicago Marathon behind the scenes should be absolutely delighted with what we've seen here today. Ruben.
Yes, I mean, such a fantastic race, so many elements within, when we talk about the wheelchair races to the men's race to the women's race, an amazing result. And as you say, since Salman Kadotsky took over as the race general here in Chicago, is by far one of the best races on the planet.
So we can see how much she missed the world record by not much at all. It was incredible. Incredible, really. She very nearly got it. Again, Kipchoge in Berlin a couple of weeks back, he did it. Chepngetich there couldn't follow suit, but she very nearly got it. So Rita Solakut, the president of Bank of America in Chicago, should be delighted, as well as the executive race director as well, Carey Pinkowski, the Chicago Marathon man behind the scenes. His 32nd year. It's going to be a year, no doubt, that he'll not forget for many years. We really do hope you've enjoyed the event. If you haven't, well, something must be seriously wrong, because it has been wonderful from the start right up until the end in every race. The wheelchair events, male and female, were great. And of course, on the men's and women's side, on the elite side as well, just as good. From myself, Errol Creary and Ruben McRae, thanks very much for your company. Look forward to having your company once again for another marathon either this year or next. It is goodbye from both of us for now.